Jon Bernthal, Tessa Thompson, and a whole lot of sex and murder equals the Netflix adaptation of Alice Feeney's novel, His and Hers. It's a dark mystery with a bunch of untrustworthy characters and several twists. So should you be binging this? Anna lives in haunting reclusivity, fading away from her friends and career as a news anchor. But when she overhears about a murder in the sleepy town where she grew up, Anna is snapped back to life, pouncing on the case and searching for answers. Detective Jack Harper is strangely suspicious of her involvement, chasing her into the crosshairs of his own investigation. There are two sides to every story, his and hers, which means someone is always lying. This is a 6-episode limited series that will probably have you glued to the screen and binging the entire thing in one go. The main characters are played by Jon Bernthal and Tessa Thompson, but we've also got Pablo Schreiber, Sunita Mani, Crystal Fox, Marin Ireland, and Rebecca Rittenhouse playing some pivotal roles. The story, to its credit, is very convoluted and adds not only twists, but several plausible suspects for the gruesome murder that brings Thompson's Anna back to her small hometown. Now, many times, just when you think you've nailed down the culprit, the show gives us a glimpse of someone else to muddy up the waters of suspicion. All this isn't to say you won't be able to figure it out. We guessed the perp and means along with another reveal by the end of the 3rd episode, but there were still a handful of times in the remaining half that created a lot of moments of doubt. All that to say, even if you do happen to guess correctly, the suspense and red herrings that are presented, they do an excellent job of keeping the story engaging and intriguing all the way through. Now, I think throughout the whole series, there may be one, maybe two total characters that we're meant to like or connect with. All the rest, they're pretty skeevy and make you question society just a bit. I mean, not having main protagonists that you want to root for, it can make for a strained watch. But I think it's also fun to hate on these imperfect and flawed characters, watching them create compounding issues for themselves simply through some terrible decisions and then impulsive actions. Now, Bernthal's character, it's a strange mix in this. There are times when he's got this southern politeness to him, giving deference to his elders and then providing a massive level of care and concern for his niece. But on the flip side, he's rude, rash, and unpredictably hasty in so many of his interactions with everyone else. Just rubbing people the wrong way, that doesn't even begin to describe how acerbic he is. And because he's the lead detective on this murder case, his actions make him out to be sketchy and questionable. Like, we can't tell if he's bending rules to just solve the case or maybe to hamper the course of justice. Now, Bernthal does mumble sometimes through this, so it can make it a little bit difficult to discern what he's saying sporadically throughout the show. And with Thompson, she's also mainly unlikable too. I mean, she's opportunistic, self-absorbed, and just as rash as Bernthal. But she's also carrying around a ton of weighty regret and trauma, so she's the same type of emotional conundrum. While we may not enjoy her presence all the time, she's easily sympathetic in many areas. And her dynamic with Bernthal, it's explosively toxic and fun. They're consistently biting towards each other, taking all sorts of pot shots and never missing an opportunity to insult the other. But they also share this doggedness towards the case, but for differing reasons. And it's that shared passion that also makes them enjoyable to watch together, even if they are wildly dysfunctional. Now, Sunita Mani is an awesome addition to the cast. She plays another detective who's partnered with Bernthal, and she's observant, highly intelligent, and intuitive, and then also straight-edged, which then creates a strained, sometimes even contentious relationship with Bernthal. And the emotional whiplash she undergoes thanks to the quickly changing ups and downs of her partner, it's frustrating, but also strange. To watch her take verbal beatings from her colleague and then also bump fists when given a compliment directly after a dressing down. I mean, it's dysfunctional and sad, but it probably mimics what a lot of women have to endure in a male-dominated work environment. And her tenacity, it's also a strength for the mystery. She is undaunted even amidst rebukings, showing her to be one of the characters that we do want to cheer on. The mystery for this is introduced and obscured well throughout the majority of the series. We're given clues and shown some cryptic scenarios, but also given contradictory situations that work to introduce all the doubt that's made to keep us guessing. And I appreciate that the story doesn't drag out unnecessarily long either. The episodes are only about 45-ish minutes, and the whole thing is concisely told. There is a little bit of repetition, but this mainly comes in the form of showing us a different perspective on the same event, or maybe expanding on something that we've only been given a small portion of context for. The suspenseful anxiety, it builds, especially as we can feel the pacing ramp up as it nears the climax. Now, I enjoyed the increased tension. The show didn't meander about, waste time, which can then end up killing momentum. Instead, it kept plowing forward with some false leads and then increased suspicion. Now, if you're into diving deeper into a story, there are actually some pretty deep concepts included within the narrative. There's a focus on some of the obvious tropes like grief and jealousy, but also then themes of secret trauma, self-destructive behaviors, classicism, and privilege. And the show isn't forceful with these ideas, so if you're just in it for the mystery, you're golden. But if you look deeper into some of the meanings, especially as the storytelling is actively taking place, you may just unlock more clues to what's going on within this small town. Overall, this was a dark, intense show that thrives thanks to its efficient pacing and lack of wandering arcs. The characters are sketchy and maddening, with just enough charisma to create the needed doubt to carry the intrigue further. With excellent characterizations, the cast creates personas designed to be hated, with flaws that can make them mildly relatable and also unscrupulous at the same time. This does not stay its welcome, and while there are some complex and potentially triggering themes at play, they're never forced on us in an intrusive or preachy manner. This was a lot of fun, and despite us being able to figure out the reveals well before the show gave them to us, the misdirections kept inserting minor doubts to keep us fully captivated. There's a bunch of sex, some nudity, a ton of profanity, and some brutal violence, including sexual assault. I give His and Hers 4.5 out of 5 couches. Now, this is my first time experiencing an Alice Feeney mystery. Have you read any of her books? Are there any that you can recommend? If there are, let me know some in the comments below. If you enjoyed this review, please give it a like. Also, don't forget to share and subscribe. I'm Chris. This is Movies and Munchies. Thanks for couching with me.